Alrighty, so now that we've done the direct materials, we're going to move on to direct labor. So I'm just going to hide this so that we can only focus on the direct labor. So this is, again, a very similar framework right over here. And the first thing that we're going to start with are actual hours and actual rate, which is what they gave me right here, 49,000. I don't really have to do anything. I'm just going to type that in. Well, actually, I'm not going to type that in there. I'm just going to reference it. Okay, that's even better. Okay, the second thing is that I have to figure out what my actual hours are that I worked. They also gave me that, so I'm going to come up over here. Okay, actual hours, right up over here where it says hours, and I could probably change that. It doesn't do too well for me. All right, and then the standard rate. What is the standard rate? So here I'm going to come over to here, and I'm going to point you to the next calculation I did, which is the standard labor charge per set. Because remember, we're given this information on a per set basis. So like direct materials was $24.50 per set. Okay, that's all fine and dandy, but what does that mean in terms of my both my cost per set and what that is on a labor basis? Okay, so I probably said that backwards, but if we look at what my labor charge is, it is $51.30, and I'm supposed to work 50 hours, so that's $18 an hour, right? That is my standard. Again, my direct labor total should be $51,300, and I should be working 2,850 hours per month. So if you look at that, that's $18 an hour. All right. So let's deal with that one first. So I'm just going to use my $18 an hour, which is what I calculated up here, and then I can multiply these together. Alrighty, and then I come up with a variance. Now, again, this is probably the trickiest little quadrant right here because we have to figure out how many actual sets we made. Okay, well, that's the easy part because we made 2,000 sets. But what did that mean in terms of how many hours should I have worked to make those 2,000 sets? So the standard amount of labor that I should be working, if you look up here, every month I should have be working 2,850 hours, making 1,900 sets. So that's $1.50, or not $1.50. It's 1.50 hours. All right, I'm working 2,850 hours to make 1,900 seat covers. That's 1.5 hours per seat cover. So I'm going to enter that in there. So when I make the 2,000 seat covers that I actually did, I should have spent 1.5 hours on the total amount of seat covers, right? And my standard rate is what we figured out before, which was the $18. And now I can multiply that together. Okay, so now when I'm looking over here, my quantity variance, did I pay more or less than I should have paid? So here's my, do you see this is my actuals less my standard, okay? And I can see, or I can do the standard is my standard less than my actuals. Okay, if it's negative, then it would be an unfavorable variance. Just like over here, okay, do you see how I should have spent $50,400, but I actually spent $49,000, so I have a favorable balance here as well. Okay. And because I'm the curious type, I wanted to know, well, what was my actual rate here? So over here you can see that my actual hours were 2,800, and I paid 49,000 for those 2,800 hours. So if I divide these, I should come up with a rate. And you can see that the actual rate I paid my employees was $17.50, even though the standard was $18. So I kind of got my labor on sale. All right, and it also shows me that I should have spent 3,000 hours making those 2,000 sets of covers, but I actually only spent 2,800 hours. So again, favorable, which is why both of these balances are favorable. That's under 5 minutes, and I'm done.